The movie begins with Luke, a young thief, racing through the streets, on his bike after stealing a valuable painting. A mafia gang is hot on his trail, desperate to snatch it from him. Luke escapes and jumps onto a moving train. Exhausted, he falls asleep and dreams of becoming a world-famous archaeologist after discovering a golden mask. He wakes up to find Esme, a sharp and dangerous woman, sitting across from him. She demands the painting and threatens that her men will beat him if he resists. Luke tries to bluff, claiming the monks nearby are his allies, but Esme isn't fooled. She pulls a knife and a brutal fight breaks out. Though Esme briefly takes the painting, Luke fights back fiercely, reclaims it and escapes onto the roof of the train. With enemies chasing him, he makes a daring leap onto a nearby tower and disappears into the distance. Next we see, Luke's sister is introduced, battling her husband in court for custody of their son. Later at her workplace, a museum, she is shocked to see Luke after years. Overcome with emotion, she shares her struggles. She has a son now and is getting divorced. But while talking, Luke slyly steals a painting. It becomes clear he never came to reconnect with his sister. His real goal was theft. As the museum's head, she realizes the trouble this theft could cause her and chases after him. The alarms blare and the police rush in. Luke tells her, "Come with me and I'll give the painting back." Hesitantly, she joins him in his car. Luke speeds away, hiding the car inside a truck where a group of archaeologists is already waiting. The archaeologists inspect the stolen painting and reveal to Luke it's a fake. Luke's sister panics, but before she can react further, Luke knocks her unconscious. The next morning, she wakes up inside the museum with the painting in her hand. Confused but determined, she places it back in its rightful place. But just then police officers arrive hunting for Luke. Their questioning starts with her. She tells them calmly, "If I knew where Luke was, I would be with him. But now there's no point, the painting is already back." Even so, the damage is done. The museum fires her. Losing her job breaks her mind, and when her husband finds out, he takes advantage by refusing to let her meet her son. She realizes her custody battle has slipped further out of her hands. Later she follows an address Luke had given her. There she discovers him with a group of archaeologists and a wealthy businessman. Luke finally reveals his true mission. He's searching for the legendary Fountain of Youth. The businessman explains why its water is said to cure any illness. He is dying of cancer and this quest is his last hope. Luke's sister refuses to believe it. "Our father was one of the greatest archaeologists alive," she says. "Even he couldn't find the fountain, that proves it doesn't exist, it's just a myth." But Luke shows her his research. According to him, a secret order called the Protectors of the Path has been guarding the fountain for centuries. This, he believes, is why their father failed. He adds one more truth: not all members of the group agree to keep it hidden. Some of them want to reveal it to share its gift with the world. The secret of the Fountain of Youth was hidden across 7 legendary paintings. 6 had already been found, each holding a clue, but one was still missing. Luke's sister reveals the truth that the painting stolen from her museum was a fake. The real one sank years ago with a ship lost at sea. At first she refuses to help. "The police are after you already. I can't risk losing my son because of another scandal." But the businessman makes her a tempting offer: "Help us and I'll make sure you win custody of your son." Against her better judgment, she agrees. Together they set sail for the island where the shipwreck rests. Using giant air balloons they raise the sunken ship. Inside its ruins, Luke and his sister finally uncover the missing painting. But just then Esme and her gang ambush them. Chaos erupts and Luke fights back fiercely, while Esme seizes his sister and threatens her life. Luke doesn't flinch. "You won't kill her, what you want is the painting." In a bold move, his sister fights back and throws Esme off. But disaster strikes, the balloons burst. The ship sinks again and they barely escape by swimming to safety. Safe aboard another vessel, Luke's sister lashes out. "You cared more about that painting than about me?" Later her despair turns to joy when she learns her ex-husband has taken a job abroad. Their son will finally return to her. Meanwhile, with all 7 paintings gathered, the team pieces together the clues, but the puzzle still makes no sense. Then Luke's sister sees what they missed. These paintings are over 1,600 years old. The words combine into the name of a king. In his Bible lies the path to the Fountain of Youth. Just as they prepare to set out, danger returns. The same gangsters from the beginning reappear, chasing them with renewed fury. Among the group was an officer who wanted to arrest Luke and his team. Luke told him, "You only want the paintings. You can keep them, they're very valuable, but in return let my team go." The officer agreed, but also wanted the same thing the gangsters wanted: the paintings. This led to a fight between the officers and the gangsters. Luke's team took advantage of the chaos and escaped. Later the team leaves from there in a boat. Luke fell asleep and dreamed again. He dreamed that he was drinking the water of the fountain of youth. But in the dream, as he drank, his sister and her son grew older. Shocked, Luke threw the water away. Then suddenly he woke up and saw his sister in front of him. She joked, "You still talk too much when you dream." Afterward, they reached a library to search for a Bible that could lead them to the fountain. While his friends studied the Bible, Esme appeared again. She revealed herself as part of a group that wanted to keep the fountain of youth a secret. She tried to stop Luke. A fight broke out. Esme even aimed a gun at Luke. But he cleverly tied a rope around his feet and jumped down from the floor above to escape. He told his team, "Grab the Bible and let's run." His friends distracted the librarian, and they all escaped with the Bible. That night they read the Bible many times but couldn't find a clue. Then Luke's sister rechecked the case and realized something. The symbols from the paintings are not normal clues, they are music notes. Her son, who was good at music, helped solve it. The notes turned out to be a song about the 7 wonders of the world. The 7th wonder was the pyramids. That's when they realized the fountain of youth was hidden inside the pyramids. The team immediately boarded the businessman's private jet and headed to Egypt. On the way, Luke had another dream. In it he found a golden mask and put it in his bag. But then he saw his sister becoming old right in front of his eyes. Startled, he woke up in fear. Luke's sister sat in front of him and said, "I don't trust this businessman. He sent my ex-husband far away for work, even though he knew he was the one who looked after my son." Luke calmed her down and said, "Don't worry. He only wants to protect himself. He's rich and our focus should be on the mission." On the other hand, we see Esme. She belonged to a secret group called the Protectors of Path. She met her leader and told him how worried she was because Luke's team had already reached the pyramids. The leader gave her a strange key and said, "It won't be easy to stop them now, but you know what you must do." Luke explained about the hidden chambers. His sister warned everyone, "Don't take anything from here. Our father once found a golden mask inside this pyramid, but he left it behind because some things must stay where they belong." Everyone agreed. By morning they entered the pyramid. The businessman had brought fighters to stop anyone from following them. Inside they saw a giant drum blocking the way. Luke wanted to blow it up with a bomb, but his sister stopped him. She said, "The Egyptians were brilliant builders. There must be a smart way to move this drum." Her son looked around and noticed that the towers and drums in the chamber were arranged like musical instruments. He started playing them and suddenly the walls shifted. Stairs appeared and the huge drum slowly rose upward. Luke's sister also played the drum and soon the drum moved aside, revealing a hidden chamber below. It looked like an elevator. The businessman, Luke, and his family stepped into it and went down deeper inside the pyramid. Meanwhile, outside the pyramid, police officers and Esme's team arrived. They fought against the businessman's men. In the end, the officers and Esme's group worked together and defeated all the fighters. The group continued their search inside the pyramid. After walking deep underground, they discovered a secret passage that led them to the Fountain of Youth. When they touched a special brick on the wall, a staircase appeared and they walked down to reach the magical fountain. Everyone was amazed. Luke's sister told the businessman, "This is the water you were searching for. But be careful, this water can either be a blessing or a curse. Only you can decide." The businessman became nervous and asked Luke to drink first. Luke refused. "My mission was just to bring you here, the rest is up to you." The businessman got angry and revealed the truth. "I was never sick. I only wanted this water for myself. I heard it gives eternal youth and life. But now I don't want to risk it, so Luke, you drink first or I'll kill your sister and her son." Luke, though reluctant, stepped toward the fountain. But before he could touch the water, a drop of his blood, caused by a gunshot wound, fell into the fountain. The moment the blood touched it, the water began to move wildly. It swirled upward like a tornado, wrapping around Luke and lifting him into the air. The water then gathered into his hands. But instead of letting him drink, the fountain showed him a vision. In it, Luke saw his sister and her son growing old and dying while he stayed young forever. Horrified, Luke realized he couldn't drink the water. Looking at his sister, he chose to refuse. The magical water then entered his body by itself, filling him with a strange and powerful energy. The water was testing Luke because he chose not to drink, and he passed the test. As a reward, the fountain healed all his wounds and gave him special powers. The businessman thrilled and asked Luke why he didn't drink. Luke answered, "Because this water is meant for you." Greedy for power, the businessman injured himself so that his blood touched the fountain. The water lifted him just like it had lifted Luke, but the test revealed his selfishness. The fountain always demanded a price. Since the businessman cared only for himself, the curse turned on him. His body aged quickly and he began to wither. At that moment Esme arrived with the officer. She used the magical key given by her leader to shut the fountain forever. Bells rang loudly, the pyramid began collapsing and everyone rushed to escape. The businessman nearly fell, but Luke risked his own life to save him, and they all made it out just before the pyramid sealed. Outside, Luke apologized to his sister and her son for risking their lives. Esme warned him not to drag her into another adventure. On the way home, Luke finally understood why his father had never revealed his greatest discoveries. Some things are better left hidden. Just then his nephew asked with a grin, "Uncle Luke, can we go on one more adventure?" Luke smiled, and the film ended with a mystery. Will Luke go on his next adventure or not? And the movie ends with this question: